Now to the United States, where Donald Trump has threatened to impose 25% tariffs on imports from the European Union, accusing the bloc of taking advantage of his country. Now, his threat came during the first full meeting of his new administration and added to a series of announcements about import charges targeting two of his country's biggest trading partners, Canada and Mexico. The European Commission has described the president's latest threat as unjustified, promising that Europe would act immediately and firmly. Well, President Trump gave no details, but said an official announcement would come very soon, and he highlighted what he said was an unfair trading partnership.
European Union is a different case than Canada, different kind of case. They've really taken advantage of us in a different way. They don't accept our cars. They don't accept essentially our farm products. They use all sorts of reasons why not. And we accept everything of them. And we have about a $300 billion deficit with the European Union. Now, I love the countries of Europe. I guess I'm from there at some point a long time ago, right? But indirectly, pretty directly too, I guess. But I love the countries of Europe. I love all countries, frankly, all different. But the European Union's been, it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, look, let's be honest. The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. That's the purpose of it. And they've done a good job of it, but now I'm president.
Let's pick up some of those points with Ethan Behrman, who is a political commentator and adjunct professor at Loyola Law School. He joins us from Los Angeles. Welcome to DW. This threatened 25% import tax on European imports, do you think it will happen?
I think that President Trump loves to use the cudgel of threats of tariffs to try and extract things from our allies and our trading partners. I'm not sure that it will actually happen. I believe he will likely go that route. He generally does follow through if he doesn't get what he wants. And an interesting little note on that, though, is that European car manufacturers like BMW and Mercedes over the last decade plus have set up full manufacturing facilities in the United States and would likely be exempt on those automobiles from those tariffs on those cars sold in the United States.
So what does he want?
Well, I think what it is he is looking for the European Union to drop some of their tariffs that they have on American goods, which do exist, and this is right in line with his threats regarding NATO, and its pressure on the European Union in what he sees as and a number of Americans do too, as unfair that the United States has shouldered the brunt of the defense of Europe since the end of World War II, and especially since the end of the Cold War, and sees that these trade barriers have also cost the American taxpayers money as well.
Okay.
And as a result, that's, I believe, his basis.
There are other tariffs in the air. He's imposed further tariffs on China. He's imposed and then delayed tariffs on other American allies, Canada and Mexico. There does seem to be confusion about whether those will eventually happen.
Well, I think there's a lot of confusion when Donald Trump speaks. It appears that his own cabinet oftentimes has no idea things that he announces when he's speaking to the press. So the confusion runs deep in the United States, let alone our trading partners and allies. But Canada and Mexico in particular, there is talk that the March 4th tariffs are back on. And in today's news conference that he gave, he talked about April 2nd, which I don't believe anybody knew about April 2nd before those words came out of his mouth today. So because he shoots from the hip and just says whatever is on his mind, I think it's quite understandable that our trading partners, again, let alone the American people, are not quite sure what he is talking about doing. This is a hallmark of his administration thus far.
And so what should Europe and indeed the wider world make of an American president who talks about European allies in such a disrespectful way, talks about Europe being formed to screw the United States, and who seems to have so wholeheartedly embraced Russian talking points about Ukraine?
Well, I can say this, is that our trading partners, our allies, our long-term allies, post World War II here, the vast majority of Americans, still view the European Union, view Canada, view Mexico, view our traditional allies as our allies. This president has turned the presidency of the United States into a transactional business. And many of us find that greatly disheartening, find that empowering of autocrats like Vladimir Putin, like Xi Jinping, like Kim Jong-un and others, much to the chagrin of those of us who embrace democratic values first over financial transactions, which is really what it feels like right now.
Thanks for talking us through that, political commentator Ethan Behrman.
Thank you so much.